Even though Uranus has a lot of fascinating facts and mysteries to offer, it is the least studied planet in our solar system. As a result, we are leaving Earth, the only home we know, to travel to the farthest regions of the cosmos. If you enjoy our videos, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Simply Space, and keep checking back for more videos in the future. Let's start our journey through the universe's expansions. Uranus is a behemoth of gas and ice. Uranus, which orbits between Saturn and Neptune, is ranked 7th in our solar system when viewed from the Sun. This places it among the outer planets, all of which are giants of gas or ice. The inner planets enclose Mars, and then the world of the planetary giants starts as an asteroid belt. Uranus is the third largest planet in our solar system after Jupiter and Saturn, with a volume 65 times that of Earth. Its composition and color are similar to those of neighboring Neptune, but it is distinct due to its numerous unusual phenomena. The earliest pre-Christian astronomers were aware that the inner planets up to Saturn were easily seen with the unaided eye or with primitive telescopes. Following the invention of the telescope, Uranus became the first planet to get the attention of astronomers. In 1690, astronomer John Flamsteed of the Royal English Court noticed it, but he thought of it as a far more distant star in the constellation of only Taurus. Uranus was identified by Sir William Herschel in 1781 as a near-Earth planet devoid of its own light. The astronomers outside of England strongly objected to Herschel's plan to name the new celestial body George Star in honor of the English region King George III. Eventually, the stargazers agreed and once more chose a name that referenced the ancient world of gods. At the same time, people throughout Europe revolted against the aristocracy's decadent rule and the unjust living conditions of the poor classes. The most well-known of these upheavals was the French Revolution, which took place from 1789 to 1799, which is now regarded as the start of the modern era. In fact, Uranus is the only planet in our solar system to bear a name from the Greek world of gods. Although there are similarities between the gods of the two empires, our planets are named after Roman mythological deities. The Greek Uranus, on the other hand, has no Roman equivalent. The Romans considered Uranus to be the embodiment of the heavenly sphere, and as such, he was the grandfather of Zeus or Jupiter and the father of Kronos or Saturn. The mother of the heavenly deity Uranus was our home planet Earth, also known as Gaia. According to mythology, Uranus delivered the male principle to Earth, but Kronos, his own son, dehumanized and disempowered him. Many moons. There are an abnormally high number of moons around all of the huge planets in our solar system. There are already 27 known Uranus moons, and more are being added all the time. Some of these moons are very small, measuring only 10 kilometers in diameter. Others have diameters of 1,600 kilometers or more, yet when the mass of all of Uranus's moons is added up, it still falls short of that of Triton, the largest moon of Neptune. Uranus's primary moons are Miranda, Ariel, Oberon, and Titania. Researchers are still unsure of why Uranus's axis of rotation is 97 degrees off from its orbital axis, but it is thought to have been caused by a massive celestial body that in ancient times threw the god of heaven into this slanted position. This is because every moon of the ice giant is named after characters from the works of the great poet William Shakespeare. These names include Cordelia, Ophelia Puck, Caliban, Rosalind, and even Juliet. Because the sun stands exactly above the poles, Uranus's poles experience night and winter for a full 21 years, during which no heat or sunlight can reach the polar caps. If the season changes, it will be bright summer and abnormally hot for 21 years. The elliptical rings of Saturn are the most well-known planetary rings, but the rings of Uranus are equally noteworthy. They are primarily made up of coarse dust particles and a few larger pieces that can reach a diameter of up to 10 meters. In 1986, the spacecraft Voyager 2 crossed Uranus and captured the ring system, which is a very delicate light pastel color to a dark play of colors. The rings of Uranus were probably not created together with the planet, but at a much later date, the reason could have been a collision of the moons of Uranus at present. 13 different rings are known, the brightest of which is in 11th position, and called epsilon visible to the naked eye indeed. Uranus is visible from Earth even without a telescope, however. The conditions must be favorable for this if no artificial light sources are disturbing, and the exact position is known. Amateur astronomers will recognize Uranus as a faint and sometimes slightly greenish glimmer in the night sky. It is likely that early peoples observed the planet, although they did not attach much importance to it because of the weakness of the light in the history of space exploration. To date, only one single exploration mission has ever come close to Uranus. On January 24, 1986, NASA's Voyager 2 spacecraft came close to the mysterious ice giant. It was launched on August 20, 1977, at the U.S. rocket base Cape Canaveral to explore the outer planets. The probe, which is still in operation in 2018, passed the end of our solar system and is currently traveling through interstellar space with an unknown destination. 9 years later, the vehicle, which was only a few meters wide, came within 81,000 kilometers of the cloud surface of Uranus for the first time, allowing people on Earth to see the colors and weather conditions of Uranus in addition to photographs of Uranus itself. Many of the new moons were discovered by Voyager 2 and photographed for the first time. Hydrogen, helium, and methane make up Uranus's atmosphere. In the uppermost portion of the atmosphere, there is a thin layer of methane. This layer reflects shortwave blue light, while absorbing all warm and long-wave red light frequencies that the sun emits and reaching the planet. This effect gives Uranus its stunning aquamarine coloration. The inner layers see a sharp drop in temperature due to light filtering, with average temperatures in the deeper layers being negative 224 degrees. In contrast, temperatures in the top stratosphere can be extremely hot, ranging from 525 to 580 degrees. Since Uranus lacks a solid surface like all gas giants do, it is the coldest planet in our solar system. In its frigid regions, massive storms can reach speeds of up to 700 kilometers per hour. Researchers re-examined the data material 34 years after the Voyager space probe visit and discovered a tiny anomaly in Uranus's magnetic field. During a brief 60-second interruption in 45 hours of routine recording, the data abruptly zigzagged back and forth. Upon closer inspection, they determined that the planet had formed a plasmoid, which is a massive bubble that separates from the planet's magnetic field and then spits out into space. The plasmoid field is still connected to the main magnetic fields and drifts as a tail in space. In the case of Uranus, the field must have been a loop-shaped structure measuring 200,000 by 400,000 kilometers. With a mean density of 1.27 grams per cubic centimeter, Uranus has the second lowest density of planets in our solar system, only surpassed by Saturn, which has an average density of 0. For comparison, earthly water has a density of only 1 gram per cubic centimeter, which is not unusual for a gas giant. However, Uranus has another unique feature in terms of mass. It is 14.5 times as massive as our Earth, making it the fourth most massive planet in our solar system, but it is also one of the least dense. This is due to the peculiar composition of the planet's gases and structures. Because of its skewed position and fast rotational speed, Uranus takes 3,708 days to orbit the Sun, which is equivalent to 84 Earth years. A day on Uranus takes only about 17 Earth hours, and its average orbital speed is 6.81 kilometers per second. If we were to jump on the cloud peaks of Uranus, we would only feel 0.9 times our weight on Earth. Our planet moves at a speed of 29.78 kilometers per second, but in the German-speaking world, there is hardly any disagreement over how to pronounce its name. In the American English-speaking world, however, Uranus was pronounced like Uranus. To avoid this minor linguistic blunder, experts have now adopted a new pronunciation, though it is debatable if this is actually a better way to pronounce Uranus. When seen from Polaris, Uranus and Venus remain unusual. All of the planets in our solar system revolve around the Sun in an anti-clockwise manner, with the exception of 2 which collectively rotate counterclockwise around their own axis. One might also argue that they rotate from west to east. The only planets that orbit themselves from east to west are Venus and Uranus. No one knows why, but it's not a disadvantage either, as everything in our solar system functions normally. despite these unique outliers. These changes are most likely caused by impacts from larger celestial bodies. It is unknown if the two's long-standing divergence has led to instability in the system. The Germans had 9 worlds of gods, one of which is the world of the giants Jotunheim. More recently, the Marvel film studios have re-examined the original Nordic legends of the gods content and revived interest in the 9 worlds. Since the ice giants live in Marvel's Jotunheim, the heroes of Asgard are generally at odds with them, though occasionally they work together. The light blue ice giant Uranus may be the real cosmic counterpart of the ice world, so the heroes Thor and Odin's home would be either nearby Saturn or Asgard. Can you imagine that the Germanic tribes were aware of fascinating realms on other planets thousands of years ago? Please let us know which of these numerous features and facts about Uranus were new to you and which ones you already knew. As always, use the comment area to share your thoughts.